Right, James, get off your phone. We're live.
No, I'm just reading. I'm just reading this interesting article. Apparently, funding for Auckland's Santa Parade is dropping.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently ATED, which is the Auckland something economic department. It's like it deals with like tourism and the economy and all of that. Apparently, they're pulling out funding the Santa Parade.
Okay.
Putting more money into the Pride Parade though, so like, don't give a fuck. No, I'm joking.
From one parade to another. Well,
From one parade to another. Yeah. No, they're like, I think they're focusing just on more like kind of events that are more long, like that aren't just like one-off things. Because Pride Parade's a combination of like a week-long festival.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know that.
You don't know the Pride Fest? Pride Fest! It's like best time of the year. The Auckland Pride Festival. You don't know nothing about it. To be fair,
I've heard about it.
We live on the North Shore. It's very invisible on the North Shore.
Okay.
I'll be honest, yeah. I do too, but also I travel to Big Gay Out and all of that.
I don't travel. Yeah. I just stay at my neck of the woods in Torbay.
Your neck of the woods in Torbay, just living your white domesticated lifestyle, even though not white, not domesticated. No. But that's okay.
Yeah, I'm still wild.
I
I don't know what you mean by not domesticated. Like,
it's a really good point. It's a really good
what
point. What is
I've been tamed.
What is the definition of domesticated?
Well, if we were talking about like domesticating animals, it's you should watch that CGP Grey video. But
don't have the time. We're recording. I don't have the time to watch this.
So
video.
talking about flags.
Talking about flags. Right, we had like a set topic. And
hard segue.
Yeah, had like that wasn't even a segue.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That was literally.
That was a good segue.
That was literally a I love that for you, or like an anyway. Like that wasn't even a segue. That was just like a we're moving the fuck on. You just moved me on. Rude, not rude. You just kept me on track. You're doing what you're supposed to do.
You're the one who picked this topic. Like...
I did pick the flag topic. I was just giving you some current... It's not my fault that I live my life and you press record and then all of this gets recorded. Not my fault, Randell. You're the one with the power here. Have fun editing this, by the way.
I'll just have to... make it quieter. That's all I'm going to do.
And another read for my loudness. You knew what you were getting yourself into. I don't know why you say this every time.
Look, you asked. I answered.
That's such a good point. Such a fair point. Love that for you. Anyway.
But like, onto flags. Anyways.
Anyways, onto flags. Because we were talking... Well, no, because Okay, so the reason for this was because the last recording we did... You just so happened to be watching a video about flags.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, oh my god, I really love flags. And then we were going to do it that podcast, and then we realised that we didn't actually have enough to talk about, so now we're doing it this podcast.
Well, yeah, I didn't know anything about vexillology.
Vexillology. I can't even say that word. I'm so happy you can say that word. I'm so happy for you.
Do you want to try? We'll put it on the air.
Vexillology. I can't.
Close, but no cigar.
Not good at all. I just can't say that word. But whatever, you know that word? Love it. Love
Vexillology.
It. Hey, you couldn't say municipal at the mall, so don't come for me.
It's not that I couldn't pronounce municipal.
So you didn't know.
I just struggled. I just didn't know what the word was.
Municipal.
Yeah. Municipalities.
Municipalities.
Maleficentilities.
Maleficentilities?
Yeah.
Is it from Maleficent? Is that what the forest realm's called?
It's what I'm going to call my third daughter.
It's going to be my third daughter. I'm
so
happy you're planning to have that many children. Like, 3 is a lot. Like, 3 is
not
quite
even
a lot.
3. Like, 3 is the minimum, right?
Right.
For you to get a third daughter.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, could be 6. Yeah. You could double or nothing.
Could be more.
Could be more.
Just keep having boys.
Just keep having one daughter.
Man.
One daughter with all these boys. Awful. Terrible.
Oh, man. Whoever the mother for these boys are.
Oh,
gonna have a hard time.
Wait, why are you saying what the mother has these boys? Who says you're not going to be the stay-at-home dad? Who says you're not going to have this?
Yeah, you know what? Fair.
Yeah.
If anyone's going to be a stay-at-home dad, it's going to be me.
Right, and also, who's to say you're not going to get with a high-powered woman that's got a job and like she's like, I've got my career, baby, like, and you're like, fuck, I'm a teacher. Like,
hold on, that's assuming I could like bat that far above my league.
That's assuming that it's far above your league. Oh, positivity.
Too many
wholesome
assumptions.
feelings.
Anyways, onto flags.
Onto flags. It's going to be so hard to keep on topic. Okay, flags. Flags, for me, okay, personally, I'm really obsessed with flags because I'm really happy when I see a good flag, and I'm super depressed when I see a bad flag. And when I see a bad flag, I kind of, like, it literally ruins my whole day.
What's a bad flag?
Well, they don't have a bad flag anymore, but the famous one that everybody's agreed is the worst one was Pocatello City's flag.
Where the hell is that?
Pocatello is in Idaho, the United States.
Oh, yeah.
Either Idaho
I
or
know.
Utah. I could be completely off. It's one of those Midwestern square states.
Ah, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, the state flags can be pretty bad as well.
State flags across the United States are awful. Absolutely awful. Because a lot of the time they just choose...
They have the seal?
Yeah, they just choose their seal.
Which I've been told is a no-no.
Well, the
in
seal...
vexillology.
See, the thing is that close-up a seal is fantastic, right? If it's on a contract or on a piece of paper and you're reading it, a seal's fantastic. It's just when it's in the distance, you don't know what it is. And if it's like what most state flags are, which is the blue background and the seal, from far away, you're not going to be able to tell which is which. I think what's interesting is that some state flags really hit it on the nose. Like, some have really good state flags, and then others just have the worst state flags I've ever seen. Wyoming is so close to being a good flag. If you've ever seen a flag of Wyoming. I don't know what
Wyoming looks like.
Wyoming's got, like, it's got a red border and a blue background with a buffalo in, like, its middle.
Wyoming.
If you're listening to this, look up the Wyoming flag. Yeah. It's, like, so close to being a good flag.
What is that?
It's like a buff, but they've put the seal inside the buffalo.
I don't know if you call it like a nearly a good flag. Like
I think it's nearly a good flag in terms of representing what the state's about. Wyoming is in that kind of plains area of the United States, and they're well known for the amount of buffalo that used to roam there.
Is that like Does the Wyoming state look like a buffalo? Like I'm confused.
No, the Wyoming state's famous for the buffalo.
Yeah, but like the front of theirs looks kind of iffy. Or is that because like buffaloes are furry at front?
Yeah, buffaloes are furry. You don't know what a buffalo looks like.
No, I just remember.
They're like big fuzzy cows.
Yes.
But wild cows. But see, it's close to being a good flag, but the problem is that they've put the seal inside the buffalo.
But also, if they just kind of left the buffalo there, I still wouldn't have liked it.
I don't know. I think I'd like it. I think it's because there's like I think symbology is important for a flag. A flag needs to be able to be characterized by its symbols, and that's why seals are also a very bad way of. Because seals tend to have lettering in it. Mm-hmm. Lettering is not. If you have to put Wyoming or Kansas on your flag's not doing its job.
I feel like if you just write Kansas in black letters and just a white background, that could be a state flag.
That could be a state flag, but then again, that flag is not doing its job. You should be able to tell it's Kansas without you actually literally spelling out Kansas. Yeah. So, Maryland is famous for having quite it's a good state flag, but it kind of goes against all the rules of a good state, of like a good flag. But it's a good flag nonetheless.
Oh, okay. It's like...
Yeah, it's medieval. It's very heraldric. It's very medieval.
It's like drawn into 4.
Yeah.
And then like, it's got this like checkered black and yellow pattern and like a cross.
Yeah, then the 2 crosses in the corner.
Yeah.
It's very medieval heraldry kind of vibe.
I feel like there's a lot going on in that flag.
It's a lot going on, but it's a very good flag because even as complex as it is from a distance, you can still tell that it's Maryland's
I feel like
flag.
if they just had the cross as the flag, that would have been like...
Oh, very simplistic. That
would have been simplistic, and I think that would have been a good flag.
Really, yeah. But also, that flag's old as hell. Like, that's just a historic flag at this point.
Is that the first flag ever since they touched on, like...
Yeah, Maryland's one of the first states. So it's
I want to know what the Kansas flag looks like.
Kansas? I'm pretty sure it's got Kansas, and I'm pretty sure it's got the year of its statehood as well on the flag, if I remember correctly.
Oh, wow. Just says Kansas.
Yep, just says Kansas. With the seal.
And it's a blue background with Kansas at the bottom in yellow, and its seal in the middle.
Yep.
Oh wow.
And now, I feel like we bash the US for having terrible state flags too often, but it is really, like, I think it's more compounded by the fact that you do have countries that have really good flags for their regions. Japan's a good example.
Oh,
Japan's a good example. But also,
flags. I like the New Mexico state flag.
Oh, New Mexico's got it going on.
Yeah.
New Mexico's got it going on.
It's like this. It's got a yellow background.
Yeah.
And it has this kind of cross in the middle that kind of looks like a sun as well.
I think it is the representation of the sun in like Pueblo art form, which is Pueblo were the native peoples of New Mexico. So New Mexico's flag amazing. Arizona is actually it's not too bad of a flag either.
I'm just searching this all up.
Colorado is quite fun as well. I quite like Colorado.
Arizona first.
Yeah, Arizona's like, I feel like there could be improvements, but Arizona's not bad.
Oh wow.
Arizona's not bad.
Okay.
Like, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
There's less going on than Maryland.
Yes. But
I don't know. I quite like Arizona's flag. I think Arizona's got quite a good flag as well.
It looks like if Captain America just went a bit too wild on the colors. That's what it would look like.
No, if Captain America was from Arizona.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? And then, and have a look at... Colorado's fun.
Ooh.
So they've taken the sea of Colorado, but they've stylized it into like an image.
Yeah.
Yeah. Colorado's fun. I like Colorado. I think it's innovative. I think it's different enough, and it's not... Yeah.
It looks like a company logo, but they've put it into like a kind of like a flag-like background. So it's just like blue with a white stripe in the middle.
Yeah, and they've kind of put it off to the side into the into one half, so you kind of get that flag dynamic.
So it's not center, but it's like kind of off center.
Yeah, just off center to the side. It's a good flag. Yeah. That's the US, and the US is famous for its bad state flags, but also for some of its really good state flags. Maryland's quite famous. Texas is very well known.
Very, very good flag. I like Texas one.
California, again, so close to having a good flag.
It's got that bear.
It's got the bear, but also the bear is not the problem. I like the bear. I like the white. I like the red stripe below. What I don't like is the California Republic in written words underneath the bear.
What I like in my flags is that children should be able to draw.
Children should be able to draw a flag.
And I don't know how well children can draw, but I don't think they can draw a bear.
Well, no, I think it's more it's less about children should be able to draw it. It's more that if a child drew it, the flag is still recognizable. So if the flag is recognizable after being drawn by a child, you've got a good flag. As long as it's still recognizable afterwards. It's not so much that the child has to get it perfect. It's that it needs to be legible afterwards.
No, James. It has to be like perfect. Or near perfect.
Near perfect. You want your 5-year-olds to have like a near perfect flag. If they don't, they get executed immediately. Is that what
it's unpatriotic.
It's unpatriotic. Yeah, so like it's more like a child should be able to draw it, and we as adults or anybody should be able to recognize it as being, oh, that's the flag of insert whichever country that person. Like, for example, no matter, as long as they get the color combination correct, right? Every child will be able to draw some type of Scandinavian flag. Yes. Or like for Sweden. As long as they get the colour combos correct, we'll be able to know that it's Sweden. But even then, if they did it black and white, we would know it's a Nordic country flag at the very least. Because they all have the same motif.
They all have a cross.
They all have
if it's like a black and white, it'll be like,
Yeah, the only one you'd be able to guess if it's black and white would be Iceland's. Mainly because they have the blue and then a red cross, but they've also got the outline of white before the red.
Oh, okay.
So you'd be able to guess that because you'd see 3 different colours in there. So you'd be like, oh, that must be Iceland. At least I'd be able to. I'd be able to do that because I'm a freak.
Well, I'm sorry. No need to flex here, James.
Already did.
Hey, James. Vexillology.
That's what we're masters in. Other flags. I think, we always talk about US flags being stupid, but I also think we don't talk enough about the fact that European flags are quite derivative. in the fact that they are pretty much all the same, with a few exceptions. Like France, Italy, Ireland, black and white, Russia and Germany, with Serbia. You wouldn't be able to tell. In fact, it's even in colour, it's difficult to tell whether it's Poland's flag or Indonesia's. They're so similar. Like, they're quite... And I get why. It's because, like, if you know the history of it, it's because the French created the tricolour.
The tricolour.
And then...
Sounds like you said two-colour.
The two-colour.
Yeah, the two colours.
The two-colour. The tricolour.
70s.
The 70s. God, that annoys me. 17.
Flags.
Yeah, just come up with... Anyway. But, like, and you get it, it's because now most European countries are republics. And so republics tend to take the tricolour because that was, like, the first kind of European republic flag, if we ignore Switzerland, which we tend to do.
Because Switzerland is always neutral on things.
Neutral on things, but also been a republic for quite a long time. Yeah. And actually, the Netherlands has been a republic. Was probably the first like proper republic on the continent. But again, we don't tend to talk about that. But all those flags are the same, right? It's like 3 colours and stripes, and you just choose which 3 colours you want to like inject in your flag. Kind of boring.
I mean, I think it has to do with shared heritage as well.
Shared heritage, I guess.
Because a lot of the African flags look pretty similar.
And true, a lot of the African flags do include red, gold, and green, or black. It's kind of the African colours. Yeah, it's a black, green, and green, and red tend to be the colours. I think forgetting the meaning of them. I'm pretty sure.
Did they get it from Ethiopia or something?
Red, gold, and green they got from Ethiopia.
Yeah, because Ethiopia was one of the. I think it's the only African country that wasn't ever colonized.
Yeah, technically too.
Except for during the wars, but...
Yeah, they were occupied by Italy, but they were never colonized. Yeah, it's Ethiopia. Technically it's two, Ethiopia and Liberia, but really it's Ethiopia because Liberia was a country created by the United States to send freed slaves back. Oh. Because, that's where someone that's lived in a continent for like 3 generations wants to go to a country that they have no idea of what it's like.
Thanks, America.
So Liberia technically wasn't colonized, but also Liberia was created by the United States. Yeah. So technically a colony, not really, but technically. So Ethiopia, the only country to never be colonized by Europeans, except they were occupied from 1936 to 1940 something. I think it's 1942.
I don't know how you know that.
Neither, actually. Don't know. I think I'm getting I know the occupation was 1936, but I have no idea when they were released.
Well, search it up,
Go, look it up.
Ethiopia.
Actually, look up Ethiopia's flag while you're at it, because they now also... They used to have the lion on there, but once they became a republic, they removed the lion.
Oh, it's like a star.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be the lion.
It's the star.
Green, yellow, and red is their color.
Red, gold, and green. They call it gold.
You say?
Yeah, red, gold, and green.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They
technically call it gold. It's like the Rastafarian colours. You know how Rastafarians use red and yellow and green? Because Rastafarianism started in Ethiopia, and then trickled out.
Yes.
You don't know? You don't know? Yeah, so reggae and all of that.
Yes.
It's actually based around a religion called Rastafarianism.
Okay.
And it began in Ethiopia.
I'll read up on it later.
Yeah. So, and that's why they choose, and that's why a lot of African countries use red, gold, and green.
Okay.
As well as that connection to Rastafarianism. And actually that's also why you'll probably see a lot of the red and gold and green not necessarily being used at the same time, but being used in certain flags in the Caribbean.
Oh, okay.
The exact same reason. Jamaica's a good example because they use green, yellow, and black in their flag, and it's a cross of Saint. Well, it's done like a cross of Saint David, but it's not actually a cross of Saint David.
Let's search it up. I hate trackpads. Trackpads are lame. Jamaica.
Actually, Caribbean flags don't get enough credit for how good they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Caribbean flags don't get enough credit for how good they are, because they are really... Most Caribbean flags are very good flags. Barbados...
Barbados is a
fantastic flag.
It's got this trident in the middle.
Yeah, got a trident. I mean,
so good.
Why would you not...
Yeah.
Yeah,
capitalize on that.
Capitalize on the fact that you're a seafaring nation, because you're in the middle of nowhere. Well, not really, actually, but...
I don't even know where Barbados is. Where is Barbados? Oh, okay. It's in Oh, okay. It's like, yeah, one of the Caribbean.
Yeah, it's a
islands.
Caribbean country. Yeah.
It's like way out there. Barbados.
Yeah, it's not far. It's on one of the. It's on like the island chain that kind of like heads down from Hispaniola down to like South America. I think its closest neighbors might be Trinidad and Tobago. Unsure.
It's like Saint Vincent's or something.
Oh, Saint Vincent.
Saint Lucia.
Oh yeah.
Spadestown.
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 Spadestown. Pride of the South? Question mark? Did you mean Dunedin?
Is that where they get all their spades from? Like,
or their spades? I'd be very surprised if anybody that's outside of New Zealand drinks spades, to be honest.
Where is spades from? Is that like specifically New Zealand or?
Yeah, Pride of the South. South Island, my dude.
Oh, cool. Cool. Oh.
Pride of the South for over 100 years. Forget the gold. Spades. Zooming in on Australia.
Yeah, I'm just.
Now, see, that's one.
I'm looking at the Australia and the States.
That's one thing about Australia and New Zealand is I feel like I think we both need to change our flags. But one of the main reasons I think we need to change our flags is because we do have very similar flags.
Yeah.
It's the exact same motif. They've just added an extra star, and their stars are white, and ours are red. We need to change our flags. They're too similar. Like they're just for someone like as a New Zealander and Australian, we know the difference between our flags, but to any international observer, they might as well be the same.
Yeah, they just look at the New Zealand flag and go, "That's the Australian flag," and we're like,
No.
How dare you,
that's
sir?
clearly New Zealand, but actually it's not clearly New Zealand.
No.
Like it really isn't. And I understand the use of the Southern Cross. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, a part of me is like I'd keep the Southern Cross most certainly, but also let's not think that the Southern Cross is like a New Zealand motif. Like almost every Pacific nation uses. In fact, actually, there are South American countries that use the Southern Cross because again, the Southern Cross can be seen by every country in the Southern Hemisphere. Hence the name Southern Cross. Yeah. So it's not unique. It identifies that we're in the Southern Hemisphere, but it's not like unique to us here in New Zealand and Australia or even the Pacific. It's actually just a Southern Hemisphere thing.
It's a Southern Hemisphere thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Some people don't like... I'm like, we need to get rid of the Union Jack on our flag. I don't like the fact that we still have the flag of another nation in our flag. And it's not because I'm like, screw the UK. It's just because the UK doesn't have anything to do with us anymore. It made sense when they did, but now they really don't. So we just...
Time to say goodbye to Mom.
It's time to say goodbye to Mom. But also, like, you know, it's the UK's flag. Like, I'm not even sure how they feel about... Actually, no, they're probably quite chuffed that they have flags on every other person's flag because it reminds them of the time that they were everywhere in the world. But... yeah, like, be like Canada. Just bite the bullet, get rid of it. Yeah. And look, the Canadian flag's, like, super recognisable now.
The Canadian flag is a good flag.
It's a good flag. The two red bars, maple leaf in the middle. And it's not a proper maple leaf. It's a stylized maple leaf because they know what good flag design is.
Just like the Japanese.
Like the Japanese.
Bring it back to the Japanese.
Their prefecture flags are undeniably... yeah. Amazing.
Even the fucking goddamn
municipal flags.
Municipal flags.
Yes.
Vexillology.
Vexillology. Yeah, like I think the thing with the prefecture flags is that they kind of it harkens back to the national flag because it's just a single symbol on a background.
Also, most of them are just stylized version of their kanji or hiragana or katakana that their names start with.
Yeah, or any kind of like geographic marker.
Like a mountain.
Yeah.
But
like
they've stylized it.
They stylized it to make it uniquely different, but you can tell that all the prefecture flags belong in the same kind of grouping. Yeah. You know? You can... Oh, they're just so good. And it's like, why can't... all countries can be like that. Yeah. Looking at you, USA. Like, you could do that. Like, you could come up with really good flags for your states. Some states already have really good flags. A lot of them don't. Yeah.
To whoever's listening, search up the Japanese flags.
Oh, the Japanese prefecture flags. I think there's no better flags, like flag group. I think they're like perfect. There's nothing I would change about a lot of the flags from Japan.
Yeah.
Like, there's really... Because they've hit every kind of nail on the head. It's simple color schemes, motifs, stylization, unique, could be drawn by a child, be legible from far away. They're perfect.
Talking about nail on the head, the nail and gear flag from Hello Internet.
Oh my god, yes! Again, see, that's just a really good example of how, like, flags aren't that difficult to design.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, to be fair, I think they've talked about it, and people did make up the nail and gear flag, and it's been through, like, many iterations. So, like, people did make it, just not, it wasn't Gray and Brady. But
no.
It was the community.
But see, like, they're very, like, they're not hard to do. And I kind of rail against this, like, it looks too corporate. I mean, a corporate logo is meant to tell you what the corporate, like, it's meant to be identifiable which corporation it is, right? Any logo that's identifiable to something is going to look slightly corporate if you're going to frame it that way.
Yeah.
Like a silver fern is a corporate logo currently, but if we put it on our flag, it's a national symbol as well. So, yeah. I don't know. Also, do you remember the arguments during the referendum we had here about how it looks like a tea towel?
Which one?
Like, all of them. They just say, like, the new flags look like tea towels or towels. And it's like, yeah, it's because...
No.
A lot of people would be like, no, I'm not doing that. It looks too much like a tea towel. And I was like, fun fact, tea towels and flags tend to have the same dimensions.
Yeah, I mean...
So any flag can become a tea towel.
Flag looks like a tea towel. I don't know what you're trying
All
to
flags
say.
can fit into a tea towel except the Nepalese flag.
Yeah, which are like triangular.
Yeah, which is triangular. Yeah. Like, all flags can look like tea towels if you put it on a tea towel.
And I'm pretty sure someone's already made tea towels out of the flags.
Yeah, and like...
Someone's capitalized on that.
See,
and
like
they're making big money.
That argument... I remember that argument and I was like, that makes no sense to me because anything can go on a tea towel. Like, why does that... In fact, if it looks like a tea towel, that's good. That's good branding.
Yeah.
Like,
you could sell that.
That's memorabilia right there. You know what I mean? You can now you've got a tea towel, now you've got towels.
Yeah.
You know? Flannels, curtains, shirts. Like, if it can fit on a piece of cloth,
dude, you know what?
Branding.
Like, the Japanese flags make for good shirts.
Oh, right?
Their logos.
Do you know
especially which one's the prefecture with the purple background?
Oh,
I'm gonna search it up.
I'm not sure. Is that... I want to say Kyoto, but I don't think it is.
Japanese.
Might be Fuji. I don't know. Purple prefecture flag. Hopefully there's only one.
They have a list of Japanese prefecture flags.
Jesus.
Oh, dude.
Kagoshima. I like Kagoshima's. That's my favorite.
Oh, okay. But one of them looks like... Do you know the symbol from... Do you know the Umbrella Corps from...
Oh, yeah. No, is it Resident Evil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the Japanese prefecture flags.
Looks like the Umbrella Corps flag.
Hold on, which one was it? It was... Oh, there you go. It's Oisha. Just look at that.
Oh, wow. It does look like Umbrella Corps.
It's like these... It's white background, 3 triangles connected by a circle in red.
Yeah.
It's Okayama. Like purple and yellow.
Oh, yeah.
I do like the purple and yellow together.
Purple and yellow is... And not... Although purple rarely used on flags, not because of any, like, colour constraint, but just because of how expensive it is to dye things purple. Well, it used to be expensive to dye things purple.
Shiga looks like an Ouroboros for some reason.
I mean, that's what we want.
A stylized katakana of Shiga. The circle in the center represents the Lake Biwa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. See, they've all got symbolism.
Yeah. Stylized kanji of Yamaguchi for the Yamaguchi.
Yamaguchi sounds like a great place. If only because it's got Gucci in it. Gucci, Louis.
Yeah. Anyways, we should keep talking about the New Zealand flag referendum because that was a time.
That was a time. Although
we're very late on the topic because that happened.
I don't know. I think it's an important, like, regardless on how it went, which was we didn't change the flag.
No, it was.
I think it was a good conversation to have about the fact that, like I think more people wanted to change the flag than I think people realize. Like, even though the flag choice that we ended up narrowing it down to, I didn't like in particular, so I didn't vote in that last referendum.
Apparently they didn't have a vexillologist
on the panel.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
They had a guy who was a graphic designer for Nike, but
yeah, right.
That doesn't mean he knows what he's talking about when it comes to flags.
And the fact that 2 of the flags that were chosen in the final 4 were identical but different colours really annoyed me, because I'm like, you've clearly got an agenda here on which colour, on which flag you prefer. And also the fact that there was only, like, of the 40, the final 4 were really derivative, plain, and not that different. Like, the ones that we ended up narrowing it down to was a different colour, and we just changed the Union Jack to a silver fern.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, again, wouldn't be a terrible flag, but it just seemed like of all the 40 that we had, there were so many other possibilities that we could have gone down that we just decided to, well, at least that panel decided to squander by giving us 4 very derivative, very safe flags. And I'm like, I mean, we got the 5th one, Red Peak, which is one put in by... Remember when it came down to it, the first referendum, when they had the first 4, I was like, I'm not voting in this referendum because I don't particularly like any of those flags.
I mean, I couldn't vote. I wasn't old enough for that.
No, yeah, I just made it.
Yeah.
I just made it.
See, yeah, my birthday is in November. So.
Yeah, I just made it. It was because the referendums were happening in, like, September.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So I just made it.
Yeah, it was, like, right about the end of the school year.
Yeah. So I just made it for the referendums. When it came to the first 4, I was like, I'm not voting. Because I don't have any love for our current flag, but I didn't like any of the other 4. So I was like, I don't care. Like, I don't care what flag we get.
But even then, like, how would you go about changing a nation's flag? Like, what are the process?
Well, Canada just did it by act of parliament. Canada just said we're having a new flag, and they passed an act of parliament, and they changed the flag.
Yeah, but, like, who came up with the designs?
I have no idea who came up with the designs for Canada.
Okay. Because, like, I don't know, it's just, I didn't know how to feel about the designs that were involved in the New Zealand flag referendum.
I mean, I think our process is a good process. I think it's good to do it via referendum, and we have to remember that the 40 that were submitted were all submitted via submission. Like, there was thousands sent in. Some stupid Laser Kiwi, for example.
Laser Kiwi.
Amazing. I wish that was an option, but of course it wasn't. No. But the final 40 were all, like, made...
They should make that the unofficial official...
the unofficial official flag.
New Zealand flag.
New Zealand flag.
The Laser Kiwi.
It's just the Laser Kiwi?
Yeah. We should make it so we have reversible flags. So it's like on one hand it's the official New Zealand flag,
and then on the back
turn it around,
it's Laser
and
Kiwi.
It's the Laser Kiwi.
I mean, honestly, I'm down for that. Laser Kiwi was a fantastic submission. Like, I wouldn't want it as a proper flag from a vexillological perspective, but, like, it was just really funny. Yeah. It was just a really funny flag. I mean, I don't know, public submissions by people... I think where they went wrong was the panel to choose the final 4. I think that's where they fell flat. Because I think the 40 that were presented were, like, a lot of them were really good flags.
Okay.
It's just the final 4 that were
picked. Yeah, some of them were pretty good.
Yeah.
But, like, how did they choose the final 4?
It was done through that panel that was chosen.
So it was just a group of people?
It was just a group of people chosen
by government. It wasn't even, like, a poll or anything?
No.
That's dumb.
Yeah, right? Dumb. It should have been done through polling or some type of... But see, that's more money. And I think really when you think about it, because there was such a backlash against how much it was costing already, like, you can understand why they would have wanted to minimise costs.
Mm-hmm. What did they poll beforehand? Whether they wanted to change it or not? Or
no. No, so the process was... And I think the process was backwards too. The process was... We voted for the final 4, on the final 4, which ended up being the final 5, on which one we wanted, and then that one went to, do you want to change the flag to this or this? I think what we should have done is say, do you want to change New Zealand's flag?
I think the order was right. I think people were like, I'd want to change it, but it depends on the flag.
I guess, but then you could have done a poll on the different types of flags. I don't know. I felt like it was kind of backwards. I think we should have asked the question, do you want to change it? Because if that came back as a no, as in if most New Zealanders still liked the current flag, then we wouldn't have had to do
The whole,
a whole other process, which again saves money and time.
Yeah.
Like, so I think it was backwards in that respect, but also equally, I think you can't just. I think through referendums like this, you can't just change a flag, which is something very cosmetic at the end of the day. As much as I'm passionate about flags, a lot of people don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
So I think it needs to be, like, grouped in with something more important. Like, if we were to have a referendum on whether we become a republic, maybe attach it onto that. Because then it becomes something quite substantial and significant at that point. You know, like, now we're actually having a referendum on where we as a country are heading in the next 100, 200, 300 years. So now I feel like you need to tack it onto something more important. But I don't know.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. A flag is very related to a country's, like, identity.
Yeah.
So yeah, if the country changes a lot, then I think the flag should reflect that.
Yeah, and that's why I think we need to be a little less precious about flags and the fact that flags do change.
Yeah.
And they change to reflect the nation as it is in that time that the flag is representing it. Like, Canada's flag during its Dominion period was an important flag because it represented Canada in the moment. Now the flag represents Canada now.
Yeah.
The United States flag, although the motif remains the same, every time they add a state into the Union, they increase the number of stars. The United Kingdom, for example, is actually a mishmash of 3 flags because of the 3 different kingdoms. Yeah, England, Scotland, and Ireland. Don't forget Wales, but they technically aren't a kingdom, so they didn't get their flag in there.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you fit a dragon in there? Like...
No, well, they have their own cross. They have a cross which is black and yellow.
Ooh.
But again, it's just that they technically at the Act of Union, they technically weren't a kingdom. They were a part of England. So,
Wales.
But honestly, I think add it in, especially if Scotland leaves. If Scotland ever leaves, just add in the Welsh flag. Like, just go for it.
Which one, the dragon or the cross?
I think put the dragon in.
Yeah, put the dragon in.
Put the dragon in, obviously.
Definitely.
Definitely put the dragon in. Like, come on, like, if you're going to choose, like, do we add another cross into the 3 crosses we have, or do we put a dragon in the flag? There's only one correct answer.
A dragon cross.
A dragon in the a dragon cross. Oh my god. Oh, could we put the dragon inside the crosses? Oh, like, just like this, like, little. No, that'll be good. No, now we're going against our own rules. So you have to make it simple.
Yeah.
A child should be able to draw it.
So it's just 2 dragons that form a cross.
Dragons that form a cross?
Yeah.
I love it. I'm into it. I'm here for it. So, like, the diagonal ones, right? Yeah. So, like, because Scotland's left, we've got rid of the blue and the white on the crosses there. So we've got white and red from the Irish and English. So you just turn the red stripes into dragons. Yeah. And just make them the crosses. I like that. I'm into that. Can a child draw it? Probably not.
No.
But who cares?
UK, you listening?
But does it represent the UK in the moment if Scotland ever left? Yes. Yes, it does. That would beg the question, what would they do if Northern Ireland joined Ireland and Scotland left? What would they do? Would they take away and just have the English flag, or would they then have to just...
The English flag is like a red cross, right?
Red cross with a white background, yeah. It's the cross of St. George, so...
Good old St. George.
Good old St. George.
Yeah, put the cross of St. George and a dragon in there. That's, like, biblical as well.
Oh my god, yes, St. George and the Dragon.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, amazing.
Symbolism.
UK, are you listening? Just become England, but have Ireland with you, and then you can have your cross, but in each of the 4 corners put a dragon. It's amazing. And then it's George and the Dragon. You're basically now living the biblical story.
What's the Irish flag look like?
The Irish flag. It depends on which Ireland.
Actual Ireland.
The Republic of Ireland.
Yeah, actual Ireland.
It's basically the tricolour, but it's orange, white, and green.
Orange, white, and green. Oh, that's very close to the Italian flag. And
very close to every other flag that uses the tricolour. Yeah, they're good flags, though. Like, I won't deny that they're bad. Like, they're not bad flags. Like, they're good flags. They're stock standard. But I think that's the problem. They're, like, stock standard. Like, if you need a flag, pick your 3 favourite colours, put them in bars on away you go. You're
Why
done.
not just make it like diagonal bars?
Yeah, just like play it,
Just
or
to
like
be
play it up. Like have like maybe a triangle in one corner, and then another color comes out like that.
Or like you cut the rectangle in half, and you cut one of the other rectangle in half.
Yeah, just 3 it.
Yeah.
Just divide it by 3. Yeah, I mean, there's other things you can do. Put something in the canton, which is the upper corner.
Or like cut it into triangles.
Yeah, mine disappointed because if you look at the heraldic flag of Ireland, it's a blue background with a harp, which is quite.
The what?
It's like a herald, like a heraldry flag. It's like it's like the old version of a flag, like an Irish national kind of iconic flag. It's a blue background with a harp.
Oh.
Look it up. I don't know, like harp flag Ireland. I'm not sure what you'd look it up as.
Flag.
Because it's in the heraldry.
Harp flag. Not the green. Oh wait.
Well, there is the green version, but there's also the blue.
The saltire represents Ireland in the flag of the United Kingdom. The St. Patrick's saltire features a red saltire on a white field. The green harp flag of the 17th century Confederacy of Ireland, and an unofficial flag of Ireland during the 18th and 19th century.
Yeah.
List of flags of Ireland. Good old Ireland.
Good old Ireland. Yeah. Ireland's so valid. So valid.
Been through a lot.
Oh god, don't mean so much.
Yeah.
Irish just gone through so much. Too much, some would say. But yeah, I like the harp flags.
Yeah.
Like the harp flag for me, is a good flag. I think they use it as the presidential symbol now.
Yeah, it says here.
Yeah.
The standard of the President of Ireland was adopted in 1945 after the establishment of the office of the President of Ireland. That's a lot of.
The President of Ireland.
After the establishment of the office of the President of Ireland.
I forget what they call. They have, because I know the Prime Minister's called the Taoiseach. I think that's how you say it. I don't know how to speak Gaelic.
It says here what the President of Ireland.
It's like Orecte.
I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah, it's such a. It's a beautiful language. I just don't know what any of the.
I'm gonna butcher it the fuck.
I butcher it the hell out of it. Yeah, I know, but like they've got really cool like names. I think.
I don't want to butcher a language too much.
I know, especially a language from a country that's been through so much. Out of respect, we will not butcher your language. But yeah, the Irish. I just like the harp flag. The harp flag was just a fun flag. It's just fun. And quite simplistic, but also, it represents Ireland correctly. I'm trying to think of other European flags. Oh, come on, you want to talk about the flag of the Isle of Man in Sicily.
Oh my god. Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a nightmare. Right? Like, it's just 3 legs.
I forget that. I always knew about those flags because it's an old medieval symbol.
Like, if you fly that, say if you're going into battle and you just fly a flag with 3 legs on it, like, that's a way to psych them out. Right? The enemy army would just look at you like, what the fuck?
That's why I sent you Sicily's.
Oh,
because
God.
they have Medusa's head in the middle, and I knew that would freak you out.
And it just looks like this lady with 3 legs sitting down and just looking up at me.
But not only that, it's not just any lady; it's Medusa.
Yeah.
So she's turning you to stone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like when I looked at it. Like, what time of the night as well? I was like, oh god.
But I think that's another thing is that we forget that Italy also has its own I guess these state flags. From all the old kingdoms and city-states and republics used to be there. The Venetian one is a very fascinating. The Lion of Venice, with the red background.
Search it up.
The Venetian
Venice flag. Oh, okay, that's a lot.
Again, these, and I think what's really cool about them is that they're old medieval flags, so they are very ornate. Because medieval flags tended to be ornate because the more ornate your flag, the more money you had to make it ornate. Yeah.
So it's like it's like a square with a line in it.
Yeah.
And it's got the little strips.
Yeah.
I thought it was just bars.
No.
Nah.
And I think they use
they're supposed to be strips.
I think it's a chimera that they use as their symbol. I'm not sure.
Does it have a person's face on it? Because then it could be the Sphinx.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't think they'd use a sphinx, though, surely. Yeah, I'm unsure. That's what I like about, old medieval...
it might be a chimera.
Yeah.
Snake for a tail.
Yeah, that's what I like about old medieval flags. They tend to use mythical creatures as well. For example, Scotland's heraldry still uses a unicorn,
Oh.
which is fantastic. So, but yeah, there's...
We could put a Haast eagle for...
A Haast eagle. That'll take up the whole flag.
United States.
The whole flag. Oh my god.
Just make the whole flag just an eagle shape.
Just a Haast eagle. Like an eagle shape, right? Yeah. And actually, we don't do it on flagpoles. We just hold it out like on kites.
Yeah, kite.
and that's just... Actually, Māori do that, if I'm not sure if you noticed, when they have waka, and there's usually the kites at the end of at the top of the waka. You ever seen those?
No.
Ceremonially, they usually have kites out, and usually they're a bird symbol, and those are Haast eagles. We used to... Yeah, shape them like Haast eagles. Because when Māori got here, Haast eagles existed.
Yeah.
And they kept killing us. But we learned to respect them until they all died. In which case, we now honour them. And also pray they don't come back. Because they're terrifying. Those who don't know... A Haast eagle is a bird of prey, like any kind of eagle or falcon. But it was like the size of an albatross. Or like larger. It was a very big bird, like scarily big.
I'm just searching up Haast eagle.
Just see how big it was, because like they used to hunt more. If that's a good indication on how big these birds are.
Yeah, I don't think they'd know. Although we have talked about it before, Haast eagles.
Yeah, we have. They're terrifying.
But
creatures.
like, I don't assume people who are listening now have listened to the other episodes.
Yeah, let's not presume that. But Haast eagles.
Hieratus more is an extinct species of eagle that once lived in the southern island of New Zealand, commonly accepted to be the Poakai of Māori legend.
Yeah.
The species was the largest known eagle to have existed. Its massive size is explained as an evolutionary response to the size of its prey, the flightless moa, the largest of which could weigh 230 kg. I think that they're talking about the moa.
Yeah.
Haast eagle became extinct around 1400. After that, the moa were hunted to extinction by the first Māori.
Whoops.
Haast eagles.
Do we have like a wingspan or anything?
Largest known true raptors in length and weight. Haast eagle was even larger than the largest living vultures.
That's a good indication. They're larger than vultures, and vultures are actually quite large.
Female eagles are significantly larger than males. Most estimates place the female Haast eagle in the range of 10 to 15 kg and males around 9 to 12 kg.
That's too much.
For a bird, yeah.
That's for a bird that can fly. Like, terrifying.
Where's the wingspan? They had a relatively short wingspan for their size.
Oh, okay.
It is estimated that the grown female typically spanned up to 2.6 meters, possibly up to 3 meters in a few cases.
This
wingspan is broadly similar to the larger range of female size in some extant eagles.
But again...
Still, 2.6 meters for wingspan.
2.6 meters, that's from...
That's taller than me.
Yeah, also I'm pretty sure that's from the floor to the roof, roughly.
Maybe.
Because most doorways in this country are done by about 2 meters. So, that's awful. That's awful. I hate it. I don't like it.
Relationship with humans. Some believe that these birds are described in many legends in the Māori under the names Poakai, Hokioi, or Hakawai. According to the account given to Sir George Grey, an early governor of New Zealand, Hokioi were huge black and white predators with a red crest and yellow green tinged wingtips. In some Māori legends, Poakai kill humans, which scientists believe could have been possible if the name relates to the eagle given the massive size and strength of the bird. Even smaller golden eagles are capable of killing prey as big as a sika deer or a bear cub.
Oh God. Why?
Why not? Death from above.
But could you imagine, like, again, I think we've talked about this, but imagine living in a society where you sent your 4-year-old out and you were like, now remember, take your giant cage in case the Haast eagle comes after you, darling. Like... I'm
sure if they could just pick the kid up just holding onto the cage.
Exactly. Maybe you'd have to, I don't know, how would you even combat that? Yeah. Like, you know that story from Australia, a dingo stole my baby? Yeah. Every week, Haast eagle took my child.
Stick to the trees?
Stick to the trees.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Or maybe, actually, you know what?
For cover?
Weirdly enough, we might end up in this society where all our sidewalks have canopies.
Yeah.
It's like protection.
But like, this was South Island and they had like pretty flat ground.
True. And one would presume that if they were in the South Island and they were that large, they were probably alpine.
Maybe.
And probably in the mountains, so maybe they wouldn't be close to
Yeah.
cities. Then again, they did kill.
Yeah.
So they were chilling around,
Yeah.
doing something down in the South Island, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Think about that for a second, because like the South Island now is heavily less populated than the North Island now. It would be way less populated because you'd have to contend with frickin' giant eagles.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
everywhere.
even then it would have been like way colder. So like not a lot. I don't think not a lot of Maoris would have settled down south.
We didn't.
Yeah.
Not
a lot.
There's like maybe 4 iwi down there.
Yeah, because it's like way too cold.
It's way too cold.
Yeah.
It's just too cold. It's like, come to the far north. It's really warm. Lots of beaches. Actually, that's one thing I didn't see down there was beaches, but I suppose there wouldn't really be beaches down that far south.
I don't know how people go to the beach, and I don't think you do.
I mean, you swim, but it's just
Not on the beach.
Not on the beach. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see any, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
I'm surprised that people go to the beach in Wellington.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised. You know, when you go to Wellington at the waterfront, there's those kids that jump into the.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's too cold. It's like, I don't know why you do this to yourself. Surely that's asking for hypothermia, because like, what? It makes no sense to me. But yeah, equally, put that on a flag. Like the Haast eagle.
Yeah.
Get fucked, America. And every other country that has an eagle on there.
And a Haast eagle. We could put the Laser Kiwi.
Haast eagle with a laser kiwi. Yep, that's cool.
Or it could be like the Haast eagle fighting
a laser Haast eagle. A laser Haast eagle. Let's have a Haast eagle just like in full flight, laser eyes onto a moor.
Or it'd just be a laser Haast eagle fighting a laser Kiwi.
Now you are talking. Oh my god.
Like those Kamehameha battles and like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, oh, and you can have like, so the Haast eagle colour can be red and the Kiwi one can be like blue, and you can like hit it to the edge, and then the middle can be purple.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Alright, we'll end it with that, eh?
What? Amazing.
Wait, no, I pressed the wrong button.
Oh
God.
shit.